Yo, what's up? I'm Lil Fizz.
Yo, what's cracking? I'm Raz B.
Yo, what up? I'm J Book.
I'm Marion, and we're B2K. B2K.
And we're B2K.
And we're B2K.
This shit is over. B2K's a rap. That right there, he's solo.
Generally speaking, I am the lead singer of the group.
Yes. He kept saying,
okay,
solo artists make more money.
The press release went out that the group broke up, and we were like, the group broke up.
I don't have a relationship with Fizz.
Raz B.
I've been trying to protect Chris, Marcus, Omari, y'all. Everybody have respect for everybody's family, but don't nobody show no love or respect for me.
You know the truth.
Welcome to Unsolicited, where I make videos about things that nobody asked me to. B2K was an R&B group that gained popularity right around the start of the new millennium. It consisted of 4 young men: Drew Frederick, known as Lil Fizz; Jarrell Houston, J Book, who's the first cousin of R&B singer Marcus Houston; Demario Thornton, known as Raz B, who's the cousin of Chris Stokes, former manager of B2K; and Omari Granberry, the lead singer, known as Omarion. The group originally ran from 2001 to 2004 before breaking up over management issues. Throughout the years, the group has weathered several storms, from management issues, friction between the group members, allegations, to dating each other's baby mamas. B2K has been through it all. Let's talk about it. The group originally began in the 90s. It started with Fizz. As a child, he was approached by a woman who asked him if he could sing or rap. He said he could rap, and the woman had him come in and do an audition. He ended up joining a group called Melodic with 2 other singers, one being Janae Eichel's oldest brother, Jahi. For 4 years, the group kept cycling through different singers. Eventually, Fizz met J Book, they're both from LA, and then Book ended up joining the group as well. Raz B was the next member to join. He had ties in the music industry with his cousin Chris Stokes, who had success with managing the group Immature, also known as IMX, which included Marcus Houston. So Raz B was the 5th member to join Melodic. Melodic auditioned for various record labels with no luck. Eventually, they auditioned for Epic Records. Epic decided that they only liked the 3 youngest members of the group, which was Raz, Fizz, and Book. Sony was like, these 2 big ones got beards. It's just not vibing with these little kids. So Melodic was dissolved. The 2 older boys went on to start a group called Final 4, and Raz B, Fizz, and Book were a group now, but there was a piece missing. They were looking for another member, and lo and behold, they ended up meeting Omarion at a party in 1999. Omarion had had some success on his own. He was on his way up. They saw him dancing, performing at the party, and they were so impressed they asked him to join the group, and thus B2K was born. But it wasn't called B2K back then. The original name was Boys Next Door, which was super corny, and obviously they learned that and changed it, but we'll get to that later. The completely formed group started auditioning for labels once again. LA Reid's label liked them but wanted the group to change their name and suggested B2K, Boys of the New Millennium, because of Y2K, the new millennium had just begun, so the name was perfect. But LA Reid didn't end up signing them, so they continued to audition for labels while recording demos. The group continued to audition for labels with no luck, like it was getting sad at this point. They ended up circling back to Epic Records. Epic is still unsure about the group, and at this point their management is about to drop them.
They was like, if y'all don't get the deal, it's over.
They felt that the group needed another strong singer, so they brought in some other dude to be a part of the group, but the other members were not going for it.
Every label pretty much felt like we needed a stronger vocalist. I don't know if you remember the R&B group Third Story. They had a lead singer, his name was K Young.
Little man.
They presented putting him in the group. He got in a group for a month. Yeah, we recorded a demo and we performed for Epic again, and they said, we still don't like it. Our management at the time asked us, like, what y'all want to do? And we was like, man, we don't want this in our group.
It wasn't that little man fucked up our group. You know what I'm saying? It's just that he bothered the performance aspect. We couldn't, again, we just couldn't go as far as, like, the high performance because of his limitations in the dance world. You know what I mean?
Max was like, I'm fighting. I'm gonna tell him to just do it with the 4.
So as a last-ditch effort, Gabe McPherson, VP at Epic, sets the group up to perform for Tommy Mottola, CEO of Sony Music, which is the parent label of Epic, and also Polly Anthony, the president of Epic at the time. So the pressure is on. They're in New York. They gotta perform and woo these people to get this deal.
So we get up there. We do 3 songs. We jumping on speakers, doing backflips, grinding on Polly Anthony. Everything we could do, we pulled out. And we finished the last song. We were standing there, and he said, it's done, I'm signing y'all. And he walked out. And we was like, yo, we got a deal. Like,
in 2001, B2K released their debut single, which peaked at 37 on the Billboard charts. In 2002, they released their self-titled debut album, which peaked at number 2 on the Billboards and later became certified gold. That same year, they released their second studio album, Pandemonium, which featured Bump Bump Bump, a collab with Diddy that earned B2K their first number 1 single. Pandemonium ended up going platinum.
Hey, yo, check this out. This your boy Diddy. I'm here with B2K. Yeah. We on the set of Bump Bump Bump.
Bump, bump, bump. Got this camera on.
Oh, you broke the camera, fool.
That's Raz B for you.
They also released a Christmas album called Santa Hooked Me Up. Mind you, all this was happening within a span of a few months. They achieved success very rapidly, and best believe Sony Music was getting their money's worth out of these boys. They went on several tours with people like Nick Cannon, Marcus Houston, Mario Bow Wow. The fans were in love with them. The girls couldn't get enough. They were teen heartthrobs.
Y'all know who's coming out in a minute because they're screaming. We're gonna have B2K out here in a minute, y'all.
All right, bro.
Just this Monday, B2K's record release in-store event in Concord, California, had to be cut short when some fans didn't want to wait their turn to see the group. They were signing autographs at a Sam Goody located inside Sun Valley Mall when some of the 1,000-plus fans waiting in line outside bum rushed their way to the front.
Does it ever get to be a bit much though when they just want to hug you and kiss you?
No, because we look at we love it because we look at it like when they don't want to hug and kiss you no more.
It's like something wrong or something. Something must be wrong.
In 2003, the group filmed and recorded the soundtrack for the movie You Got Served, which was released in 2004, and this is when things started to go left. The group was generating millions of dollars, but it was all going to other people. Their money had to pass through so many different hands before it got to them, and once it did, they had to split 4 ways.
And when you say you didn't make any money, like what do you mean you didn't make any money to us?
We did 3 months of touring. In total, we did 6 months of touring and didn't receive 1% of a penny. We didn't receive a dime, nothing.
You know, y'all didn't make no money on this tour. Y'all went into y'all guarantee. But y'all gonna be mad when y'all get home, because my new Bentley's gonna be here.
I'm sorry, who's saying this?
Management.
Okay.
So I'm like, yo, it's 4 of us. It's 1 of him. That's 20%. 100. That's. Where's our Bentleys? Where's my Bentley?
Where's the Bentley?
So right then and there on the bus, us 4 all speaking in confidentiality.
Okay.
You feel me? We got to come up with a plan. We got to lead a situation.
Not only did they have problems with management, but there was friction within the group as well. Omari and Fizz had some petty issues over messing with each other's girls.
We've been doing our thing now for 3 years. It's 2003. And we just finished filming You Got Served.
Okay.
I'm dating Jennifer Freeman at the time, the lead girl in the movie. You know, she coming home at night after the movie like, yo, you know, your boy is trying to holler at me type of thing. Like, I'm pushing him off, like, you know, like, yo, I'm with Fizz, you know? So I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's nothing. Me and old Ben had going back and forth with girls. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, whatever, that's gonna happen, you know?
Setting aside the petty drama, the 4 members of the group sat down to have a serious conversation, and they talked about how they all wanted better for themselves and had a plan to leave their management, Chris Stokes. However, Omarion wasn't really on the same page, and he blindsided the group when he decided to move forward with Chris Stokes and go solo.
Okay, so we
had a conversation, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all agreed to separate yourself from that situation.
We get a call from the production company telling us we got a meeting at this spot called Fat Effects downtown LA. Get out the car and they like management and O standing right there in like a half circle. And they like, you wanna start? And then management like, fuck it. This shit is over. B2K's a rap. That right there, he's solo. All y'all need to do is come film, record the rest of these songs for the You Got Served soundtrack and do the videos, and that's it. We don't need nothing else from y'all. They go in to say, we know about y'all wanting to leave. We know about y'all wanting to get out of y'all deal and do your own thing. I know about you f***ing such and such. I'm like...
According to Bug and Fizz, the straw that really broke the camel's back and made Omarion turn on the group was that he found out that a girl he really liked messed with Fizz, which hurt his ego.
Now, mind you, we all got a plan to leave. We together, we brothers, you feel me? Like, yeah, we about to go get this bag now. So we like, yeah, what was happening? I was like, man, I was smashing old girl the whole tour. I really liked her, bro. You cool? Talking about, grab his stomach.
So you been smashing his girls for a long time.
This wasn't his girl. This was a random chick.
We had 17,000 of those talks.
Right.
But that one straw broke the camel's back and we didn't see it coming.
According to Fizz, Bug, and Raz, it was always Omarion's plan to have a solo career. He was more about himself than the group, and he did stand out in the group. He was the lead singer, he was a talented dancer.
Yes. He kept saying, solo artists make more money.
Right. And you're generally considered the lead singer of the group. Would that be accurate?
Not generally.
Not generally?
Not generally speaking, I am the lead singer.
You are the lead singer, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Omarion said that he felt that the other 3 members had a tighter bond because they were a group before he came in, which caused a separation.
Fizz, Bug, and Raz were already in a group and already established some type of rapport and relationship together. Although we were all kids, they were comfortable, with each other.
He feel like the outskirts of the 3 of us. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we all like locked in. When we put B2K together, we was a group then, so it was all 4 of us. What I'm saying?
We never hated on dude. If that was the case, we would have went with Lil Man in the group.
While the breakup was happening, because it was happening on tour, we got into this big fight at the amphitheater. It was like right up until the point to where we was about to be fist fighting, and you know, people had to break us up, and I think that there was already from the jump kind of a type of separatism going on.
In 2004, it was announced that B2K broke up, which blindsided the remaining members because they just wanted to leave Chris Stokes, not the group itself.
Yesterday you said it did not break up, but you guys left the management team. Can you tell us what the status is of the B2K right now?
The press release went out that the group broke up, and we were like, the group broke up.
Oh, so you all didn't put that out?
Nah, we just said that we weren't working right now because of the situation of us three being not managed by Chris Stokes no more. And Omarion still currently being managed by him.
B2K breaking up was heartbreaking for the fans. Detrimental. They felt like they got no closure.
It was definitely a series of situations that happened amongst us, and I think right now it's just at that time in our relationship where we all growing up and just wanting to do different things, because you know, I really love them dudes, but I really just think that our relationship is at that point right now.
After Raz, Boog, and Fizz left the management, Omarion continued to work with them and he started to pursue a solo career. In 2005, Omarion released his debut solo album called O. It debuted at #1 on the Billboards and was nominated for a Grammy. His second album called 21 also debuted at #1 and became certified gold, with the main single being Icebox. Icebox is Omarion's most successful solo single to date and is certified gold. Omarion was also acting. He was on 101. He voiced 15 Cent in the Proud Family movie. He also co-produced and starred in the movie Feel the Noise. In late 2007, he recorded a joint album with Bow Wow called Face Off, which also became certified gold. Around this time, there started to be a shift in the music industry. People weren't buying CDs as much. Streaming didn't exist yet. Chris Brown was also coming up as the new young R&B boy on the block, so there was kind of a lull in Omarion's career. He ended up signing a deal with Lil Wayne's label Young Money, but things didn't work out.
For sure, what happened was, when I signed my deal, I was supposed to get my advance. Basically, upon signing, you're supposed to get your advance in a specific amount of days or time, and within that time, my check didn't come. That raised a lot of questions for me. You know, what kind of business was being done? When my check didn't come, I was like, I'm out.
He then signed with EMI and released his third album, Illusion, which didn't do as well as his previous projects. From then on, he spent some time collabing with other artists being featured on their projects. He signed with Rick Ross's label Maybach Music under Warner Brothers and had management through Jay-Z's Rock Nation. He released 2 EPs, Care Package 1 and 2, before his 4th studio album, X Playlist, was released in 2014. The main single from that album was supposed to be featuring Jhené Aiko and Chris Brown, which peaked at 13 on the Billboards. Also in 2014, Omarion joined Love and Hip Hop with his then girlfriend April Jones, who was pregnant with their first child. Fellow B2K member Fizz had joined the reality show as well. Speaking of, let's talk about what Fizz was doing post B2K. After the group broke up, he started pursuing his rap career. His first single post B2K was called Fluid in 2006. He then did a collab with Ray J called Beds, and he also put out 2 EPs, Payday in 2007 and Nightlife in 2009 with J Boog. After B2K, Boog started writing and producing films under his cousin Marcus Houston's production company. As for Raz B, post B2K, he's been in the headlines for reasons other than his career endeavors. But his first solo single, Fire, debuted at #2 on the Billboards, and he released several singles after that as an independent artist. Around 2010, Raz B accused his cousin Chris Stokes, former manager of B2K, of sexually assaulting him as a minor. A video was released of him talking to fellow child singer Quindon Tarver, and they discussed their shared experience of being taken advantage of as a child by Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston.
Chris is on the band. Marcus was right there next to me. Once he tried to penetrate me, and then I told him I was bleeding. I said, it hurts. Wow, what the fuck? It hurt, dude. It hurt me. I'm a kid. You put it in my booty hole, bro. With Chris laying on the bed, watching.
Are you talking about, are you talking about that wooden bed Chris had, that real high wooden bed?
Yes.
Yeah, I know about that bed.
How do you know about that? You were younger than me, so how do you know about that?
Quindon, I'm trying to tell you, I walked through the same thing what you walked through. That first time that Marcus ever put his in my booty was in that room too. See, Chris would try to work through the kids and work through Marcus because he already got Marcus at a young age.
After coming forward about his experience as a child, Raz B received backlash. He was accused of being a liar, his sexuality came into question, and the other members of B2K did not have his back.
Fuck Raz B too, I get to say this shit on camera now. Fuck that gay ass nigga B.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's like funny. Come on, man. Get your life together.
I can't protect everybody anymore for Fizz to go out and call me a homo. I've been trying to protect Chris, Marcus, Omari, Y'all, everybody have respect for everybody's family, but don't nobody show no love or respect for me. The house Book living in, him and his family, I put him in it. But y'all want to take money out of Raz's pocket and make it seem like I'm the crazy nigga. And them niggas don't want to stand here and back me up, but y'all calling my phone. I don't got nothing against the boys, but like Fizz still to this day never said sorry. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's never really said, Raz, I really got your back, thank you, because you know what, Book, I mean, me and Boog was in a room together. Chris Stokes put us in a room together and made us do stuff together. You feel me? Me and Jarrell, Houston. So it's like I've been protecting people for a long time. I have nothing to lose. I have no one to fear. You're going to sit up here and deny your own brother. So y'all going to look yourself in the mirror and you going to tell me that I'm lying? I'm lying about what? I'm lying about what happened to me with Chris and Marcus? I'm lying? All right, cool. That's cool. I'm telling you, you know the truth, bro. Bottom line. You know the truth.
In the midst of all the controversy with the allegations, an opportunity presented itself for Raz to perform in China for 3 months. He jumped at the offer wanting to get away, but ended up enjoying China so much that he moved there for several years. Upon returning to the US, Raz became more resistant to speaking about Chris Stokes and wanted to move forward with his life.
You know, I'm such in a good place mentally.
Right.
You know, I think it's really important, you know, that me and my cousin get opportunity to reconcile and, you know, talk things out, because family matters should be taken care of privately. Don't want to say too much about that.
Post B2K, there was friction between the members of the group and they no longer had that brotherhood bond that they once possessed. Omarion especially wanted to distance himself as far away from B2K as possible. In fact, the other members of the group haven't had a direct phone number to him since 2004.
O won't talk to us for some reason. You know, it's been like this. Since the group was broken up, it's been like this.
According to Fizz, Omarion had a habit of only reaching out to them when he needed something. For example, he really wanted Fizz to come on Love and Hip Hop so that he had someone to mesh storylines with.
Bro, it's always been like this. The dude comes back and uses it for leverage and then goes on his own. That's what he does.
You saying since back then, y'all have never had each other's numbers?
It's gone.
Yeah,
when he runs his play, it's gone.
And throughout the years, other circumstances have further created a division between Omarion and the other members. Tensions rose when Fizz started dating Omarion's baby mama, Apryl Jones. Their relationship was documented on Love and Hip Hop, and Fizz and Apryl received a lot of backlash with people in support of Omarion, who was making it known to the world that he was Mr. Unbothered. And this wasn't the first time that Fizz and Omarion had been involved with the same girl. Those two have a long history of love triangles. I guess old habits die hard.
I used to date a chick for a year. We did a tour and then he seen her. And then he started dating her for 3 years.
Nobody cared. I don't care.
You was him now. You is been how you supposed to feel. We're in LA. All the guys got pretty hair and they light skin. She could have got another. You didn't have to do Fizz. Why y'all so pressed?
Can I ask you what's your relationship with Fizz directly?
I don't have a relationship with Fizz, but I think that there should be an opportunity, you know, for us to talk, you know, one day.
How did you find out something was going on with your baby's mother and Fizz?
You know what I mean? A birdie just kind of floated the info to me, and I want to be clear though, you know, what me and Apryl had is what me and Apryl had, you know, and we created something really beautiful, and we gave something, you know, truly beautiful to each other. You know what I'm saying? That's really irreplaceable. So at the end of the day, even though I have public issues, you know what I'm saying, I wish no ill intent or malice towards anyone.
But Fizz and Apryl ended up breaking up around 2020, and Fizz has admitted that his fling with Apryl was a mistake.
Like, the shit with Apryl, like, I made a lot of mistakes that I'm not happy with, and that's one of them. You feel me? So, like, I made amends with it. I apologized publicly. I knew I was wrong. I gotta live with that. I gotta hold that L. You feel me?
The Fizz and Apryl drama caused some issues during the Millennium Tour. In late 2018, B2K announced that they would be headlining the Millennium Tour in 2019. The Millennium Tour was basically a Y2K nostalgic dream and featured artists like Bow Wow, Ashanti, Chingy, Pretty Ricky, Bobby V, the Yin Yang Twins. Fans were especially excited about the B2K reunion because the group ended so abruptly.
Your fans are so excited about the Millennium Tour that when it was announced on the Ticketmaster website, it crashed.
One of the things that a lot of the fans were saying, you know, was like, I waited 15 years for this. And
we hadn't seen each other in a long time. And with B2K, it's all about the energy for us, you know? And I won't lie to you, even though I was nervous, when I seen these guys, I felt like I hadn't seen it. I mean, I felt like it was like, you know, I seen them yesterday.
Yeah. During the tour, there was some concern that the relationship between Fizz and Apryl would cause so much drama that the group wouldn't be able to finish the tour.
I just dealt with a whole lot, like, with bringing you to that LA show. Like, I caught a lot of flack from it. Like, it's the biggest thing of the tour. My manager calling me, My road manager, security's calling me. Everybody's saying like, yo, you brought April to the show, and they feeling like Omari's embarrassed, you know what I'm saying? The issue is that they're afraid this situation is gonna break the group up and we're not gonna be able to finish the tour.
But Fizz ended up publicly apologizing to Omarion on stage.
I think it wouldn't be right if I didn't take this moment, bro, to publicly apologize to you, man. I did some to my brother, some snake. And I'm not proud of it, man. So I want to sit here humbly and sincerely apologize to you for any turmoil or dysfunction I caused between you and your family, bro.
However, that wasn't the only problem surrounding the tour. Raz B announced that he was removing himself from the tour because he didn't feel safe. I guess the environment was triggering his trauma.
Actually, let me correct myself. Raz B is officially off the tour. I don't feel safe because I feel like Chris Stokes is around. For me, I already felt like when I first got off the plane, it was already cold shoulders. I felt like my voice got silent in the negotiation. Everybody, well, don't do this to Raz. I feel like it was a bunch of chit chatter and people trying to buckle me down and for no reason. I didn't like it. And there was a lot of pushback on me, pushback on my money. I want to clarify, I never physically saw Chris Stokes on the tour. I said that I felt that Chris is around, and I felt that he was around. Why? Because he was working with Book.
I think what Raz is saying is that he felt like he was being controlled and that his wants and needs weren't being met. And it also made him uncomfortable that Book had business ties to Chris Stokes, his abuser. And I think the business ties that he's referring to is the production company that Chris and Marcus Houston own that Book works for. Raz ended up rejoining the tour but was then kicked off when he was arrested for a domestic violence incident that occurred between him and his then girlfriend. But then, plot twist, the second Millennium Tour rolls around and everyone's kicked off, and now Omarion is the headliner without B2K. This obviously raised a lot of speculation about what occurred, and people thought Omarion was being shady when he announced the new Millennium Tour without B2K on Fizz's birthday. The B2K drama continued when in 2022 Omarion was set to battle Mario in the Versus. Prior to the Versus, there was some tension because the group members were approached with an opportunity to be a part of the Versus, but Omarion didn't want them to be a part of it. Also, during the promo of the Versus, the Shade Room posted this picture asking the fans if they were ready, and in the comments somebody asked if B2K was going to be a part of it, and Omarion responded saying, I am B2K. So that already threw the other dudes off to begin with, and then during the Versus, Omarion throws some more shots at B2K, which made them feel away. So Omarion ends up losing the Versus, and the other members go online to start clowning him. They're like, you got served, ha ha ha. In response to the clownery, Omarion posts on Instagram, I love all the jokes and opinions, y'all are hilarious, I'm enjoying the creativity. If you're lucky enough to be in this business for 22 years, you understand that at some point you will experience malfunctions. It comes with being an artist and making yourself vulnerable to the world. But to my 3 backup dancers, he said backup dancers. Backup dancers is crazy. He said, I'm not surprised, this is how y'all always been, even while in the group, praying for my downfall. Well, keep praying because I'm overbooked and busy. Meanwhile, y'all really gotta get a job other than hitting on O. I heard UPS is hiring. Ooh. And then the hashtags is what really gets me. He said hashtag hating from outside the club, hashtag book coming soon, hashtag full circle album, hashtag the Versus check cleared.
Yeah, he's trying to create this narrative like we dislike him or something, like we hating on him.
Omarion is sensitive and he can't take constructive criticism is what that really is.
After that post, Boog responded with a very lengthy letter on Instagram where he read Omarion for filth. The entire letter is really long, but I'm just gonna give you the highlights. Boog said, you were never a solo artist, you're a fame hog, and that got the best of you. The fact that everyone wasn't screaming Omarion drove you crazy because you were giving it all you had. Standing next to us was really hard for you, so you took your opportunity to leave and only be seen by yourself, so if anybody showed up, even if it was 5 people, they were there for you. To be a part of a brand that's bigger than you is hard for you to accept, but one who tears down his own work is a poisoned individual. To call me a background dancer is funny. Shall we discuss the truth behind how those records were really made? I was there and you were not in the booth for a lot of those vocals that were put on the songs. Listen to that first album, you'll hear Steve Russell in and out of those leads and the hooks, until I took over on the second album. Then he says, shall we talk about how you broke up the group originally? You were looking for a way out before anything ever happened, and because a chick you liked that didn't like you back got smashed, you went into the ultimate snake sh. And then he says Omarion was broke back in 2018 and begged him to sign on to the Millennium Tour because he really needed that check. Another interesting thing that Boog brings up is that Omarion, you know, his big thing is being unbothered, but the gag is he was really bothered that he was not the most popular member of the group, even though he allegedly sang lead and all that. Fizz and Boog were really the ones that people loved the most, and that didn't sit right with Omarion.
Like, we all was there when the music was being made. Like, you can't go and take credit for everybody and say that I'm the one that did all of this, because me personally, I did a lot of work on those albums because we had a lot of different ways to be famous. It wasn't just about the vocal. He would always want to be more famous than all 3 of us, you know what I'm saying, because he sung the record. He was the one in the front. You don't hold the most famous, you don't hold the most likable, you hold the only thing you hold is that you sing all the leads. You know what I'm saying? So now they talking about, oh, on everything, Raz is about to sing the second verse. When you start looking at it like, I'm losing the game that I want to play, the only thing for a to do is break off.
I think the reason why B2K didn't work out and why a lot of groups don't work out is because there's way too much underlying competition and ego in the way. I really hope that one day the four of them can come together to some resolution and be able to move forward, because their relationship is so strained over such petty issues. But that's it, that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all things that YouTubers be telling people to do, and I'll see you next time. Bye!